What's new, fathead?
Hello, Doc Owen here with Action Figure Times, and we're kicking off Green Lantern Month today. All month long, we're going to be giving you some insight into the Green Lantern movie through the figures, through interviews, and things like that. You're not going to want to miss a single day. Make sure you check back. We hope to have something every day, but in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and get started with what I think is probably one of the key figures in the in all of the Green Lantern stuff as far as the figures go. I don't care whether it's JLU, whether it's the DC Universe Classics, whether it's the 3 3/4 line, whether it's the Movie Master. There's one figure in particular to me that's key to all of the Green Lantern figures, past, present, and even future, and that is going to be the Kilowog figure from the 3 3/4 inch line. Now you might be wondering, now that Doc's gone, he's lost it. No, there's a reason I believe that, and I'm going to share it with you here in just a moment. But before we do, let's look at the figure. This is the Kilowog figure. I'm going to be showing you the packaging of the 3 3/4 inch figures later on. Today I just want to take a look at this figure and his accessories. Now, this is a decent looking figure. I do not think that the movie figure looks very much like the comic book figure, but that could just be me. This figure, right away I notice it doesn't have any joint articulation. There's no knee joints at all. Now there is a shoulder joint which allows him to move like this, but there is no elbow joint at all. I think not having an elbow joint on a Green Lantern figure is a mistake of any size, because you want to be able to pose that ring and show him holding that ring. You know what I'm saying? Now, a lot of this body, quite honestly, if they took this orange head off of here, you could probably make him a Swamp Thing figure, because that's what a lot of his body and things look like. He does have a twist joint in the middle. His legs will move back and forth, but nothing side to side. Obviously, there's nothing in the ankles. His feet almost look like a clay face type thing, the way that they're melting. Make sure you look at that in the close-up. Now, I think the back muscles were a bit of an overkill. I mean, you can see how that goes up. You can see it on the front. I mean, Kilowog's massive, but I mean, he's not a freak. I mean, honestly, it looks like they let some of the Masters of the Universe figures loose on him. But anyway, all in all, he's got an orange face. I don't think he looks like the one, and his head will turn from side to side. I don't think he looks like the comic book figure, but it is a decent representation of the movie figure. I'm greatly disappointed in the fact that this is what I consider the Green Lanterns. I consider them the rebirth of the 3 3/4 line after Infinite Crisis basically quit. I was really hoping to see some improvements in articulation and things. I mean, in a lot of ways, you have to admit, this is basically just a JLU figure. I mean, as far as articulation goes, the only thing that's got extra is the hip joint, or is the waist joint. But all in all, I think it is a good-looking sculpt of this figure. As we look at the line, keep in mind, ask yourself this question: is this an improvement on the Infinite Crisis line, or is it more the same? Because basically, to me, the Infinite Crisis line were overpriced Happy Meal toys, because that was about the extent of how good the sculpts were. Few exceptions, but that's basically it. Now, I said he was a key figure, and you probably think, no, he's not that key. Well, I think he is, but I think it depends on the accessory. But this isn't the accessory I'm talking about. This is the accessory that I believe comes with all of the 3 3/4 inch figures, which is a Green Lantern ring. Now, I'm very disappointed in the fact that this ring does not fit very well on my fingers at all. I mean, I can barely get it on my ring finger. Well, it kind of goes on. My finger's going to turn blue shortly, but it kind of goes on there. But you know, it does look nice. It's kind of an acrylic. It's got a degree of see-through. It's got a starburst kind of in the center to make it kind of look like a gem. I think I'm already losing feeling in that finger. But I kind of wish it was bigger. You can see how it's pinching me underneath, because I don't know. Hopefully, kids are going to buy this line, but you know, I know collectors are. But honestly, I like the ring. It looks like a weapon. I like the idea of that. I'm disappointed that I can't actually create constructs with it, but you know, that's the way things go. Now, here is the key accessory which I believe makes Kilowog the most important of the new Green Lanterns to the entire genre of Green Lantern figures. When you first see this construct, and it's interesting because when they did Green Lantern, when they restarted the series before Rebirth, before Kyle Rayner, I believe. Yeah, I don't think he was a Lantern at the time, but they made a statement. Well, I know he wasn't because Hal hadn't gone crazy yet. But they made a statement about Kilowog, that Kilowog was the only Lantern that actually had made sound when he created constructs. That John Stewart, because he was an engineer, made them very intricate. But when Kilowog made a construct, that it had sound. So I like the massive power surge that he's got on there. But I look at it and I think, well, this is kind of a dumb construct. You basically just got a little dowel rod sticking out of the thing. I guess you could kind of use this as a mace and beat somebody. But really, what good is this? Until you take this and start shopping it around on even the DC Universe Classics figures, and on the back of it, it says it's a connector. But I was wondering, connecting to what? This is going to allow me to connect any of my Green Lantern figures, and I've got a Power Ring figure here in the JLU line. I'm going to be able to take any of the constructs that they've made in the 3/4 inch line, and each figure comes with a construct, single pack figures, and I'm going to be able to attach those to any Green Lantern figure I have. This thing works for all the figures. Now, you might have to get a balancing thing because it is kind of heavy, but you think about it. Now I can take any of the new constructs, anything that they come up with, and we're going to be looking at this as we review the lines, and check that out. I can add any of those constructs. Now I can have my own War of the Light. I can put my lanterns at war with each other and things like that. So anyway, that's why I think he's a key. I strongly suggest you getting several Kilowogs because you're going to need this adapter. This is very, very cool. And let me just say this, kudos to Mattel, because this was a risky, to me, a risky type accessory because it doesn't do anything in of itself. But they showed honor to us, the fans, who like the constructs by giving us something that we could use across any Green Lantern figure at all. I compliment Knightlick and his entire team. I think it was an excellent addition, and kudos, really. Anyway, you're going to get a chance to look here at all of the ring, the construct, and Kilowog here in just a minute when I do the close-ups. And I hope you enjoyed looking at this. Now remember, it's Green Lantern month. We're going to be throwing stuff at you, showing all different sorts of things that you're going to want to have on your shelf, and make sure you're getting all the accessories as well. Let's take a look up close. Now here we are looking at Kilowog. If you want to see the Green Lantern ring that comes with him, make sure that you check out some of our subsequent posts, as this is just our first one, and I want to save a few things for later. Very, very nice sculpt, I think. I mean, in comparison to what the movie has him looking like. You see these huge shoulder muscles, though. That's kind of wild. I guess he can definitely lift himself up. As I was saying, this body could be used for Swamp Thing. There's his feet and things. There is no articulation except his arms will swing back and forth, his legs will swing forth, and he can twist. Looking at the side of him here, I mean, that is just a very nice sculpt. There you can see his back, his legs. Now, the key thing for him is this little do right here. Looks like a massive power fluctuation with a little dowel rod poking out of the front. But that is what is going to connect us to all the other constructs, all of our action figures. I've got some exciting posts coming up where you'll be able to see me connect this to pretty much everything from a JLU figure up to a retro action figure, and see how you can use it. So make sure you tune back in and subscribe. So this is the Kilowog action figure. I mean, it's a fun figure to have and to play with. Make sure you get one, but actually make sure you get dozens so that you can have all of your Green Lantern figures connect to the great new constructs coming out. Well, this is Doc Owen with Action Figure Times. This is just the start of Green Lantern Month. Very, very exciting things coming up. Make sure that you take part. Make sure that you click back early and often and subscribe. Let us hear your comments. Come to the boards, comment on them. Come to the site and look at the up-close pictures, and we will see you soon. Be excited. extraordinary Doc Owen with Action Figure Times.